I'm hoping that you can hear me okay. And by me doing this video, it's because I have the time now to really film it. And I just wanted to start off by saying that when it comes to online presentation and how you present yourself online, it really matters a lot. When you're relaxed, it's almost like you're giving off an effortless vibe. You come off more natural, you're not trying too hard, and your body language is more relaxed. I've noticed a huge difference when it comes to my photos when I'm really nervous. I don't know what to do, I don't know where to look at, and also my body language, it seems to be all over the place. When it comes to you being more relaxed, your body language is relaxed, you're looking directly at the camera. When it comes to photos, very rarely do you get it in the first try. And that's what I wanted to say, because you can take as many photos as you want, and just because you're seeing someone else's photos online, you don't realize how many photos it really took. So that's why it's better for you to know your angles, have good lighting, have good posing. When you have a good photo, you're more confident, and also you start to smile more, you start to go outside more because you're more confident. And that's the thing, because most people do travel, it's just that they don't actually take photos to really capture the moment. When it comes to traveling, you're trying to escape the harsh realities of real life. When it comes to photos, you have that moment forever. So that's why it's really good to take yourself seriously, to have a good photo. You start to care about the background, what you're doing in the photo, the lighting, the way you're posing. And sometimes you have a good photo, but you're not even looking at the camera. And sometimes you have a good photo, but your hands are just like all over the place. So when your hands are all over the place and you don't know what to do, you don't think to put your hands in your pocket, you don't think to hold on to an object. I do get it that when you take photos of yourself, you can't control if people are in the background and what people are doing in the background. I have sympathy for people that have good photos, but there's always someone else in the background that's ruining it. But at the same time, if you want good photos, you need to look good yourself. And that's what made me realize that I had to take my photos more seriously. I had to put myself out there in terms of my style. And when it comes to photos, it's really your opportunity to show off. When it comes to showing off in your photos, I'm not saying that you compete with other people, but instead you want it to be that you can show who you really are. So one thing that I really wanted to address, you know, the person that's taking your photos, that is how people see you in real life. So that's why you need to take it more seriously. Let's say, for example, the person that's taking your photos, they always seem to capture you at a bad time. So they always capture the photo when you're talking, when you're looking away. Sometimes your shoes are dirty, but the person that's taking the photos, they zoom in on that, but they don't actually look at your face, which has clear skin. So that's another thing, because you need to have clear skin, good clothing style, and also the way that you carry yourself through body language is so important. So that's why by going to the gym, you improve your posture. And even now you can see that I'm looking aesthetic. So to be more aesthetic, you have to be very strategic. And for example, you need to take photos at a certain time. So that's why the way that I'm doing this video is when the sun is out, there isn't too many people around. Because when there's too many people around, the focus is no longer on me, but the focus is on other people. So that's why you need to be more mindful of what is in the background for your photos. If you're not the main focus of your own photo, it can be an issue, because then you start to lose confidence and other people seem to grab the attention away from you. So that's why when it comes to taking photos, you need to have clear skin, focus on what time you're taking the photos. You need to practice as much as you can when it comes to taking a good photo. And let me give you an example right now, because I wasn't a person that used to smile, because I thought by me smiling is by me faking a photo. And also the way that I used to be, where I'm so serious all the time and I don't know how to let loose and have fun, that really shows in your photos, because when you're looking back on it, you're always thinking about how your photos are so bad. But when it comes to other people, and if other people have bad photos, you don't criticize them at all, because it's not you. Let's say you're looking at other people's photos and you don't know what it is that they can improve. It's because you never looked at yourself and realized what it is that you can improve for your own photos. And I'm saying this because when it comes to photos, it's an honest reflection of how you look. It's an honest reflection of how people perceive you. The amount of times that people are online is very addicting. But also when someone looks good, you realize that people take advice from that person. One day, you want it to be like that for you as well, where you can give people advice. People want to be in photos with you because you look good. And I'm only saying this because when you have one good photo, you're then able to be confident and you're able to take more photos. Because when you have evidence that you have one good photo, you realize that you can do it all over again. And that's very important because, you know, for example, when you're going to different places and you're taking photos, some people do not care about the photo because they're more interested in the place itself. But let me just make a counter argument, because I'm making a counter argument because when it comes to photos, you need to look good. And in a photo, you need to show your lifestyle, because you don't want it to be that the lifestyle that you have is just taking selfies, but then also the photos that you take is blurry. You have photos from years ago and you're so embarrassed to take new photos of yourself now that's why you're so afraid of really taking new photos, and then you end up using someone else's. You don't want it to be that you're in a stage where you're so embarrassed to take photos, either with your family, your loved ones, your friends. Let's say, for example, that you and your friends choose to go on a lad's holiday in the summer, and then you don't take photos because you're so embarrassed. But naturally, someone does want to take photos. And that's another thing, because if you're on a lad's holiday and you don't take photos, it's almost like it never happened. And the only way you remember the lad's holiday is if you took items with you, or if someone just happens to remember what actually happened. Another thing about good photos is that you can use it in terms of your personal life. So you can use good photos in terms of dating, to improve your status. Another point that I wanted to make, you know, when other people, for example, they're from a different country and then they're a tourist in like another city, they start taking photos. The clothes that you're wearing, for example, is like pajamas, clothes that you know you'll wear inside but you're wearing it outside. And that's what happens when you don't care about your appearance. It's because you're just going outside anyhow. And then when people take photos of you, you don't want them to upload it because... So when you're caught off guard, it's because you're not taking yourself seriously. You're not even being mindful of what people are doing. But then also you're not mindful of how people think about you. So back to what I was saying in terms of a good photo when it comes to status and dating. Because when it comes to status, everyone is on social media. And no matter what you think about social media being fake, it's another way of how you can build a career for yourself. It's another way of how to meet people. And without social media, how are you going to meet new people in the first place? Because that's how you learn things fast, because you learn how to speak another language, you meet new people in different cities, and then you learn how to communicate as well. So basically, if you have no profile and you have no posts, how are people supposed to know what you look like? And how are people supposed to imagine a lifestyle with you if you have no photos? So you have to realize everything is based on looks. And before you say a word, people already have an opinion about you. And people don't even know you in the first place. So that's why you need to focus on your looks. And once you focus on your looks and you have good photos, you then become confident. When you're at a stage where you're more confident and you're ready to meet new people, you're then able to improve your status. You're more likely to find the person that you're going to be with in terms of dating. And that's another thing, because if you're in a relationship and you don't go to new places and you don't take photos of it, the person that you're going to be with, they're going to be like, why is this person so shy to take photos? And if they don't have any photos, how can they look back on it as well? So the last thing that I'm going to say in terms of taking a good photo, it takes a lot of planning and it takes a lot of practice behind the scenes. Because what I've noticed with a good photo is more about how you look like, but also you need to plan what clothes are you wearing. You have to focus on your grooming so that you look good all the time. And no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you just look good. When you focus on your facial expressions, you know when to be neutral and you know when to smile. Because for example, let's say you're nonchalant all the time. Some people will like it and then some people don't. And the grand scheme of taking a photo is to attract as many people as you can, but also trying to be confident in yourself. When you're faking to be someone that you're not through your photos, people can really see that. And it's not like people are dumb where they don't see the obvious. So by taking a good photo is by you being relaxed, you practice as many times as you can, and to try and make it seem like it's natural. Because you will know if a photo is not natural, because you even start to pick out all of your flaws. But instead, take as many photos as you really need to, and then make sure it comes off natural. And I do get it, when it comes to social media, it's fake. You're trying to show people a certain image. But if you want a good photo, you are going to have to do that a bit. Because if you have a good location, but you're not looking good yourself, don't even post that, because you'll start to lose confidence when people don't like it.